You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, today on Capitol Hill, there was testimony. Wright testified regarding the folks not being prepared for this coronavirus and national testing. We're going to play some of that in just a second. Right now, though, I want to be joined by Dr. Georges Benjamin, Executive Director of the American Public Health Association. Dr. Benjamin, real quick here, bottom line is this here.
I'm good. I got time for you.
These people are nuts, okay? General Russell Honore said, you cannot have a 50-state strategy. You've got to have a national testing strategy. Trump White House don't give it. They do not want any part of this. Governors, it's all on you.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You got to have a national strategy. You got to actually have a plan, and you got to stop winging it. And these folks are just winging it each and every day, and that's the problem. And it's gonna cost lives.
The thing is, what I don't understand is how I just would operate real quick. That is, a national strategy means, all right, I need to be able to look at the map and go, more tests goes over here, more over here. Don't need as much over here. Let's shift them over here. If you don't do that, you don't know what the hell is going on. You might have a whole bunch of tests sitting in a state. They don't even need them.
Absolutely. And in fact, we already know that has happened. We've had states that said we can't find any tests, and we have other states that say we got lots of them. So it's already happened.
When you looked at the testimony today, what did you make of it? He did not hold back at all as he laid out the problems. I mean, they trust me, the Republicans were not happy that Wright, this whistleblower, went before the House committee.
Well, he's a credible guy. You know, he's worked hard, he's smart. And, I think he's just laying out the problems that we've had. We have a dysfunctional system and a dysfunctional leadership process. And he just laid it out for him. And I hope people just don't blow it off and think that he's just a disgruntled employee. Even if you're mad, there's credibility in what you have to say. And we're seeing the results of that each and every day. So despite what people think about his testimony, he says what he thinks, and I bet when they pull back the onion skin, we're going to find about all that is true.
One of the things that also I think is critically important, still, people who are impacted. Michael Harriet with the Root had this amazing story today about how these black women in this place in town in West Virginia were getting no assistance, and they pretty much figured it out on their own. They are not even medical experts, but where they showed how all these black people in this one town how they were impacted, got coronavirus at a church, basically learn how to do tracing on their own, and they saved folks in their community. And that's what we're dealing. I mean, people should not have to be resorting to that.
No. I mean, the understanding is out there. Look, we've been doing contact tracing since the early 19th century. So we understand this. There's no reason for people to have to reinvent the wheel and learn it on their own. And we need to get more of them. And look, if you want to get people back to work, we know that we need at least 100,000 contact tracers. So those are good jobs. So I don't know what they're doing.
It is confusing to all of us what they're doing. And so, we're going to stay on top of this, keep pushing, keep prodding. Please share, what should black organizations, what should black churches, what should we be doing since we're being left out here on our own by this clueless administration?
Well, I think the first thing you ought to do is band together and talk about what you can do to make sure you're all safe. I think you ought to be following the guidance that we already have, which is covering up your nose and mouth when you cough and sneeze, washing your hands, wearing a mask when you're out, but safely, because we know about this issue of masking while black. And as we begin to move back into work, do it very, very carefully, very, very, very carefully. And that means that when you go back to work or school, we need to practice physical distancing from one another. We need to make sure that we protect one another and be respectful of one another, whether we're in the grocery store or we're on the bus, because too many of us are public facing in our jobs. And we've already seen like everything else, this disease kills more people of color at a faster rate than it does with everybody else.
Indeed, Dr. Benjamin, we appreciate it. We're going to keep pushing this. And at the end of the day, we got to keep focusing on us, because if we don't focus on us, clearly nobody else will.
No, absolutely. And I know the NAACP is looking at this very carefully. And I would just encourage people, you can go to our website, the American Public Health Association, at apha.org. We have some information, but the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is still the nation's prevention agency. We can trust them, and they have some very important guidance on their website that tells us what to do. I would encourage people to go there and use it.
Dr. Georges Benjamin, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Roland, good to see you again.
All right, folks, here's some of the testimony today from Rick Wright.
That's a very difficult question to answer. I know that there are companies and academic labs working very hard. Normally it takes up to 10 years to make a vaccine. We've done it faster in emergency situations, but from when we had starting material in the freezer for Ebola. But for a novel virus, it's actually haven't been done yet that quickly. So a lot of optimism is swirling around a 12 to 18 month time frame. If everything goes perfectly, we've never seen everything go perfectly. My concern is if we rush too quickly and consider cutting out critical steps, we may not have a full assessment of the safety of that vaccine. So it's still going to take some time. I still think 12 to 18 months is an aggressive schedule, and I think it's going to take longer than that to do so.
12 to 18 months from now, or 12 to 18 months from when this all started, the beginning of the year?
It would be 12 to 18 months from when the particular manufacturers first received the material or information that they needed to start developing that vaccine. It's critical to note when we say 12 to 18 months, that doesn't mean for an FDA-approved vaccine. That means to have sufficient data and information on the safety and immunogenicity, if not efficacy, to be able to use on an emergency basis. And that is the consideration that we have in mind when we talk about an accelerated timeline.
Thank you.
Lord, Erica, the Republicans are not happy. He testified.
I'm so glad that he did, because this is another person that we see that was assigned to that was inside of a federal agency, that because he did not do the things and say what Trump felt like he needed to say, that he was in effect pushed out. And just so that the viewing audience knows, as he talks about, the first number that he talked about was 10 years, the 12 to 18 month period. That's not even FDA approved for the vaccine. That just as recently as today, Dr. Joseph Fair, who works for NBC as a contributor, was hospitalized with COVID. And he says that he believes the way that he contracted COVID, he was on a plane. He said that there was not real social distancing, that he traveled to New Orleans very recently, and that the plane was packed, that the guidance about the middle aisle being taken out, that was not followed, and that he believes that he contracted COVID through his eyes. His eyes weren't protected. Again, people need to understand that this is a novel virus, and that as Dr. Bright shared in his testimony, and other folks that you've had on this platform and in writings have talked about, it is going to take real significant time. We're talking about experts who have battled Ebola in foreign countries, who do have expertise in this area. And so though Republicans don't like it, it is good for the audience. It is good for the body politic to understand this, because the negligence of this particular regime has now led to 85,000 deaths, which makes the USA leading in deaths from the coronavirus today.
Reese.
Yeah, I mean, listening to Dr. Bright's testimony was alarming. I mean, he really basically kind of said that we're screwed, and that Donald Trump and his administration has completely abdicated their responsibility to have a competent response. And what they're banking on, and I'm editorializing here, this isn't what Dr. Bright said, but what they're banking on is that people are going to be more concerned about getting to the bars. We saw the bar in Houston that was packed. I've seen it at least on social media and other places, than they are about the very, very rising, or very quickly rising death toll. I think people still haven't it hasn't set into them that this virus is not any less dangerous than it was when this whole stay-at-home push started. It's not any less dangerous. It's not any less infectious. It's not any less deadly. We've made no advancements whatsoever in the treatment. We're not any closer to the vaccine. And I even saw a survey saying 25% or more people won't even take a vaccine once it's available. This is something that's going to fundamentally shift our way of life. And people are still going about it like business as normal. And that's where the Republicans are unfortunately winning the messaging war on it, because people would rather believe a fairy tale than believe that they're going to have to radically adjust the way that they go about their daily life.
Greg.
Roland, this is a critical point you're raising now. The country, of course, is aware of Dr. Bright's testimony today. The Republicans ran out of questioners. Every Republican questioner sounded like the complete idiot they are, defending themselves by attacking everybody from Barack Obama to imaginary creatures or whatever else they could come up with. So it's a critical point for that point, of course. And as we've heard, we heard Erica walk through it, and then Reese, this is the importance of dealing with the fact that the federal political apparatus simply doesn't exist. In this venue, as we tie that to the story that you evoked, our brother Mike Harriet over at The Root, when he started talking about Ramelia Hodges and the other three sisters who kind of came together in West Virginia to stand in the face of this, you've now grasped something that our people need to pay strict attention to, this question of contact tracing. And so when these sisters in West Virginia, Hodges, Danielle Walker, who's a delegate in the House of Delegates of West Virginia, Tiffany Samuels and Terry Berkeley got together, they forced the hand of Joe Manchin, the senator in West Virginia, of course, who then offers resources to get people tested. But then West Virginia stopped gathering data by race, because now it's going to be an embarrassment. They had already shut down one of the only hospitals in the area that would serve Black people in that area of the state. But I'm raising this for this very specific reason. We're here in the D.C. area. I'm on something called the Black Coalition Against COVID. A bunch of D.C. folks are getting together trying to help our people understand that contact tracing is coming. You got to let people know who you've been in contact with. Those people they're not going to share the information with other people. Our people have right reason to be paranoid about the government and ask you questions about where you've been. But at this juncture, the federal government is broken. The state governments are battling back. We saw what happened in Wisconsin today, for example, where the Supreme Court overruled the governor in another show of naked partisanship, including that judge who lost his election last month. And they say, open up the state. That's going to put you at risk, Black people. So I was on a call yesterday with educators from around the country, Miami, Milwaukee, other places, Baltimore, and they were saying that our people are facing sickness and death, as we know, in an unprecedented manner. But this contact tracing issue is real. And so when you see what happened in West Virginia, even as Dr. Bright is saying this thing is going to get worse, and Donald Trump continues to turn his head to try to have campaign rallies like at this factory today when he's over there playing around with testing equipment, our people need to understand that it doesn't take money to ask questions. So the churches, the Masonic organizations, as you always say, the fraternities and sororities, it's time for us now to get real about identifying who is sick, getting them resources, helping sequester them if we can, because until we put pressure on people to get more resources, we are going to be the ones that die. And contact tracing, this issue you're raising today, contact tracing is something we should be talking about every day.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, fam, to all Roland Martin VIPs, you are invited to the Laugh Experience, taking place this Friday, May 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at Ceek.com. That's CEEK.com. Join me and let's laugh with comedian D.L. Hughley, Chris Spencer, Bo Dacious, Ryan Davis, and Clint Coley. It's a first-of-its-kind virtual comedy show on Ceek.com. Ceek.com, remember, y'all, is the black website created by this sister. Y'all. You can watch it on your phone, your laptop, even in virtual reality. Now, I'll be there, and I hope you will be there as well. Now, remember, we had Mary on the show, of course, the creator of Ceek. She also is the one who created her own VR headset. So they have these available at Ceek.com. And so it's real simple. I was actually testing this out a couple of nights ago. Actually, it's pretty cool. And so just go ahead and zoom out, Anthony. And so it's real simple. You take your phone with This hit, now there's some VR headsets where you can actually connect to the web and stuff along those lines. But this one here, what it allows for you to do is, so you actually have you go to the Ceek app, and so you can pull it up here, right here on your phone. And then what you do is you place your phone right into the VR headset, close it up, and then you're able to then put this on. And so what's going to happen is you put this VR headset on. Y'all, what's so cool about this is that it literally looks like you're in the room. So what's going to happen is they'll be live, and so you can sit here and you can look all around. You can look at the ceiling all around. It's going to be pretty cool. The first time ever, again, a virtual reality comedy showcase that's taking place this Friday, and so that's what it looks like once you're inside. You get to be able to look around on the inside of this room. It's pretty cool, and so you can do this again. It's created by a sister. This device and the site as well. She also created these 360-degree sound headphones. Y'all, these are boss. Okay, Bluetooth, as well as you could actually plug in. The Bluetooth creates the whole 360-degree sound, and so it's great for gaming as well. And so if you do use these, there's a promo code. Go ahead and write this down. The promo code. This is the headset right here. These are the headphones right here. You don't have to watch the virtual comedy showcase with your headphones. You can watch it right here on your phone. It's not a problem, but it does give you a whole different experience when you're watching it in virtual reality. And so what I want you guys to do is if you want to get these headphones, get this headset here, there's a promo code that you can enter in to be able to do so. And so let me pull that promo code up. And it's been, like I say, I've been having way too much fun with this whole deal here with these headsets. And this is called the world's first 4D 360-degree audio headphones, and of course this is the mobile VR headset, and so that's what you have here. They have a special code for our followers here at Roland Martin Unfiltered, and so we're gonna pull that up. And where is it? I thought we had it here, and so we had all these different emails back and forth, and so I'm trying to find it. Promo code. All right, this is what you use. To buy the headset, to buy the headphones, go to Ceek.com, CEEK.com, and use RMVIP 2020. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered tip.